You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are...
Reagan.
Are you ready? Are you ready
for some bullshit?
It was pretty bullshit. Today, 2 hours of absolutely pretty bad stuff. Nothing of importance. Pretty terrible show. But before we go in depth with that, we want to take a moment to send our condolences to the family of one of our greatest friends. A girl that gave us an opportunity to have 2 interviews with her, and we're pretty sad about the situation. The person that we're talking about is Lexi Gomez, and she just lost her mother yesterday. So Lexi, we want to send our condolences and the positive vibes, all the support for you. We love you, and we hope that you can find some kind of positive energies. Some kind of calm, remain calm during this rough situation. So we hope that you can find that and peace in the Lord. So all the love for you, Lexi, and you're not alone. All the Rubric family, we're all here for you, right, Jean-Paul?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
we're we want you to know that you're in our thoughts. We're all we're thinking about you. So is everyone else, all your fans out there.
Yeah, exactly. So all the love for you, and then our condolences one more time. So now we took care of that. So now, Jean-Paul, tell me about this SmackDown. What the hell is going on with this?
I mean, the first hour, it wasn't that bad. To me, the best thing on this show is probably Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. And that's not saying that it's, a great program, but it's the best thing that we're, given. And, they start that off with the show, Miz and Morrison, and it's like, okay, this isn't too bad. And then as the show kind of goes on, we knew we were going to get a replay from Money in the Bank. As soon as we hit that replay, the show just took a freaking turn down the bullshit lane, and it was off to the races.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Jean-Paul sent me a text, it's time for a nap. And you know what? I was already napping. So, yeah, it's true. I completely forgot that was going to happen, but it's true. The show started out semi-decent. It went down with the Alexa and Nikki against Bayley and Sasha, because we've seen that already. So it's kind of getting
and I was actually looking forward to what should have or what was our main event, and then that ended in a bullshit way.
Oh yeah, that ended even more stupid, like you said. Yeah. So thank you so very much to every single one of you that is watching our videos, commenting, subscribing. Thank you again for the love of from Jean-Paul and myself. Thank you for giving us an opportunity. We have great videos summarizing everything that happened in the Wednesday Night Wars. Fyre Fest Night 2 against the Great American Bash Night 2. Jericho refuses to admit that they lost, and that's pretty funny, but they lost.
Yeah, so, I mean, hey, Lechampion, maybe, they still call him that even though he doesn't have the belt, so maybe he thinks they're Lechampions even though they don't have the viewership.
Exactly, give Kid Lee the moment, let the guy have his moment, he deserves it, he's Kid Lee 2 belts, that's fine, it was a great show, it was a great match, so, hey, enjoy it for what it is, and then 1 week you lost, so get over it. So, Jean-Paul, somebody that never loses is Jeff Hardy, and we have Miz TV to open up SmackDown, and Miz and Morrison were talking, of course, hey, ho, Miz and Morrison, hey, ho, Miz and Morrison, all of that stuff, and they call out Jeff Hardy, and even they're doing they were doing the dance, all of that. So
and I love how all the jokes they're making. Miz is he's a trailblazer, and then Morrison's yes, with emphasis on blazer. And all the making all the jokes about him and stuff. And Miz is he was being a little serious. Morrison was more making fun of it, but you knew that how was this going to end? It was eventually going to end in a brawl.
They were pretty much talking about hey, my daughter, the Miz is saying my daughter loves you, she finds you as the brightest one or the brightest stars that you can see.
Oh no, it's because he's really colorful, with the face paint and everything.
The color of the stuff, the face paint that he wears and all of that. But he's I don't want my daughter to be influenced by a guy that is not legit, that doesn't live a healthy life. So that's when they start poking the jokes, hey, are you really recover and all of that? So pretty much this ends up in The Miz and Morrison actually picking a stipulation for the match that is going to have with Sheamus.
Yeah, and they they're saying stuff like, oh yeah, doesn't this bother you with Sheamus and this and that. And the one thing before, like, we got into that is I thought it was a good promo by Jeff Hardy, and it's one of the things where, like we said, Jeff Hardy's probably the most veteran guy on this roster. So it's it sucks to say that, like, man, like, you don't want to say that he's the most
we
veteran
feel
guy,
old now.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, it was legit stuff here, but then it's like, oh, it's the constant, like, oh, you're gonna be in a bar fight.
Yeah.
And it's like we said, everything is like a gimmick at Extreme Rules. I mean, it if they give them time, I'm sure it'll be a good match. If they slam each other through tables, you have the gimmicked up bottles smashing them on each other's heads and stuff. It'll be a good, entertaining match, but getting there has been, not the most enjoyable ride.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is a little uncomfortable. Yeah, we can all say that because, like you said, Jean-Paul, like this kind of like things that like Jeff's like past and like having problems with alcohol is not something that like you need to acknowledge every single show and kind of making fun of it because the guy has been in jail or has been prosecuted so many times for all the situations. So like you said, and of course making a bar fight is like, and we have some news, Jean-Paul. 2 matches are going to be cinematic on Extreme Rules, the horror show that Robert is going to be covering. Of course, you know that. It's going to be Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. That's going to be in the Swan match. That's going to be the one. And also, like, the eye for an eye is going to be cinematic, so they're going to use the special effects to poke the eye. Just so,
because they legit said that you have to remove your opponent's eye.
Yeah, so like they're gonna do it in a cinematic manner. So like news right there for you. But like Jean-Paul says, in the end they finally picked the stipulation for that. But Jeff Hardy says, "Hey, well, it's my time now. You guys saw that like you're just gonna have me here and just spoke jokes at me and nothing was gonna happen. Well, let's do something about it." So Jeff Hardy and the Miz have a match, and it was a pretty average match. Miz is always like able to put out like decent stuff with like a good wrestler, and Jeff Hardy still has it. A little slow, like Jeff is in the, I would say, the twilight zone. He's still in the last like steps from like his career to be over. But it was decent. It was decent.
Oh yeah, no, this wasn't. It's not 2003, 2006 Jeff. It's the older version. He still can do everything. And it's legit. I was hoping it would have been Morrison. I thought that would have been a better match. They might be saving that for next in the future because they know that's a legit match. But like you said, Miz is Miz is Miz. That's how I feel about him. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, a Miz match sucked because he's like Ric Flair. He works the same match every match.
That's the best comparison somebody could ever give to the Miz. That's the best kind of criticism that somebody could have given the Miz because that's what it is. The same match, same moves. We're already used to it. We know what's gonna happen. But then Sheamus was in the Titantron trying to distract Jeff Hardy. So I thought that like actually the Miz was gonna win, but no, Jeff Hardy actually.
And that's what I like because the Miz can afford to lose and job. He's not a tag team champ. He's not vying for the tag team championships. Clearly, John Morrison's the star of the group, and Jeff Hardy needed to look good. And I was like, oh my god, please don't tell me it's gonna be skull crushing finale and done. Jeff Hardy, I think he countered it and he rolled the Miz up then, right?
He rolled the Miz up.
He rolled the Miz up.
And Jeff wins. Yep.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, Jeff looks strong going into next week, for the go-home show for Extreme Rules. So I thought that was a right decision on the match.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely, Jean-Paul. And now we're going to go to, like, there were a little bit of a promo because we're going to have karaoke tonight. I don't know why. I don't know if you know why. I don't know if any one of you understand the why of that decision. But I mean, it's Friday night, maybe because that's what like the intention of karaoke. But it was going to be Lacey Evans, it was going to be Tamina, Naomi, and also Dana Brooke. We'll get there in a few minutes.
Yep. So, unfortunately, we will.
Unfortunately, but it's going to be quick. Don't worry about it. It's going to be smooth, like
we're going to spare you guys.
Yes. But because before that, let's go to like Bayley, Sasha Banks against the Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And see Jean-Paul, like we can feel like the allergies, So for that, if he needs any kind of medicine, we'll be able to administrate that for Jean-Paul. But to me, Bayley and Sasha legit. I'm okay with them, but like overly exposed. It's like I'm starting to get like tired. Like every single show, see them, and a match that like we've seen them already with like Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross is like, can you bring me somebody else?
Yeah, I've been starting to feel like that the past 2-3 weeks as well. It's like, okay, we're watching a show like Monday Night Raw, and you hear, oh, and then Bayley's music, and I'm like, really? Then NXT, Io Shirai, and they had all that. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, that was cool, but then it was tainted, like you said, because they were overexposed on every show, and that trend has been continuing since then. And it's like, do we care? Okay, they make their way to the ring, and then the Tasmanian Devil, Nikki Cross comes out, and she jumps on Bayley's back, and we get this match started, and Alexa Bliss, wearing a T-shirt, like, slapping Sasha Banks, like that's, supposed to be believable. And then,
and she has to do the thing that, like, like my smile and all of that.
Like, I'm bullshit wrestler, like,
It's the same, and then we got, another miss Ric Flair. Same match.
And then, exactly. We got the same match that how many times can we watch these wrestle? It's not, like a crazy tag, it's not the Hardys and Edge and Christian or the Dudley Boys. Like, oh, what can we do to make, last match people loved it. But now we got to outdo ourselves.
Can we switch it up? So like it's still like
they're like, hey ref, how much time do we have? The ref's like, oh, you have 7 minutes. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, let's go through the motions.
Yeah. Let me do the slap. Let me do, let me do my.
Let me. Okay. Oh, we have time. Hold on. Yeah, you guys sell the injury. Let me go yell at Michael Cole because I'm Bayley. Okay, back in the ring. Essentially, it's the same shit we've seen. Can we please get something different?
Yes. Yeah, and in the end, Bayley ends up like pinning Nikki Cross because why? She needs moment. She needs to come strong because of like the match that they're gonna have Extreme Rules. Exactly. And the best way for do that is a heel matter, and that's what Bayley did because she was like she had her feet on the rope.
Mm-hmm.
So like and of course Nikki Cross, she feels like all upset and everything. Do we really care?
And I wouldn't even be surprised if next week, we get some announcement. Oh, it's going to be not Bayley, Sasha versus Nikki Cross. Nikki's probably going to get the victory, so she looks strong going into Extreme Rules, and then she'll lose to Bayley.
Yes, and that's what's going to happen because that the big blow-off is going to be SummerSlam, and that's going to be Sasha going against Bayley.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is just, like a step on the road. That's all it is. Nikki is not going to be champion.
No, and I forget if it was I think Michael Cole asked Corey Graves, he's like, what if Nikki Cross becomes champion? And then Corey Graves is like, I don't even want to think about that. And I agree with Corey Graves. Like, Nikki Cross, I would be embarrassed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not that she's a bad wrestler. She's a good wrestler, but the character is way too, like, on the notch, it should be turned to, like, a 6 or a 7. She has it on, like, a 12.
No,
it's way too much.
And and like you said, because maybe if we see it once a week, it's not as annoying. But like because we also because they keep in this rivalry into every single show because there's no more exclusivity into the brands. So now it's like we see it on Raw, we see it on like SmackDown, we see it like every single time, and it's boring. It's just boring, because like there's no way that a human being can be that hype every single time.
No,
there's no way. So like you said, like Nikki Cross is an excellent wrestler, She's a sweetheart, but unfortunately, like the overly exposure of the character is overly done.
Exactly.
So that's why it's not attractive anymore. So Jean Paul, then we go to see like Bray Wyatt against Braun Strowman, like the match that they had on Money in the Bank. If you guys want to hear our thoughts, that's when the show went down. Yep. If you guys want to see our thoughts, we have the video of Money in the Bank.
Please check out the review, Money in the Bank.
Check it out. Give us another like if you guys want. Share it. Please. We have everything covered right here on Robert. You guys know that. So like no point on really talking about this. And Jean Paul, now we go to actually something that is there even a point to talk about this? Karaoke time.
This was awful. This was awful. No.
Jey Uso. At least like because of he's not the one injured.
No. Who's the one who's married to Naomi or dating Naomi?
Jimmy.
So it's not even the one who's hurt.
No.
Right. The one who's okay. So he's not even there.
The one that is hurt is Naomi's husband. Yes.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah. That's why she said, like, that's my sister from another mother. So,
okay.
If you would have said, my wife, I guess,
okay, because let me tell you. See, that just leads into what I'm about to tell you. I had this thing on mute for 90% of this. Like, Lacey, they come out, and I hear Lacey Evans, before she starts singing, Michael Cole's like, oh, she's going to sing, Jeff Jarrett, Road Dogg.
Be My Baby Tonight.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, they must all be singing.
Road Dogg, yeah.
I mean, yeah, Jeff Jarrett, Road Dogg, legit. But I'm like, oh, they must all be singing WWE songs. So she starts singing, and I'm like, okay, she's not, awful. She's not good. Mute. And then she sang. So, I don't know what was said. And then when Dana Brooke came on, I unmuted. God awful, singing the Honky Tonk Man. remuted.
They didn't. Well, the one thing they didn't let her sing like the whole thing. I don't know if she was actually trying to sing or she was just like being like whatever.
So, yeah, like, I mean, well, first off, they played a track over top of them, so it was another voice and them. So that was awful. Yeah. And I think they did it because a lot of these women, the two in the middle, Lacey Evans and then Naomi was the last one. They actually sang, and it was legit. And then the other two were like, we don't really want to. Yeah, exactly. Here.
Because then after Dana Brooke, it was Tamina, and Tamina was going to sing Triple H's.
Game. And she's like, oh, the game.
And then she kept going like, they were like nodding her head and stuff. And Jay did not let her sing. So that was even bad, And
I think it's because they knew it was so bullshit. And that's the whole thing. I had who was this for?
Bruce Prichard right there. There's nothing else to do. And then Naomi, like you said, and then they gave him American Dream. Dusty Rhodes, there you go. Dusty Rhodes' theme song written by the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. So that's like, at least she sang. But we know that Naomi is actually, she can sing because she's a singer. She doesn't do it like often, but like she sang the version of Somebody Call My Mama. Yeah, she did a version of that. So like we know that she can sing and she did well and she won the competition. And all of this was just for them, all these women, to give us a match.
Yeah, and then was it even a match? It was like, oh, okay, they're in street clothes. Lacey Evans choking her with the dress. The other two get in there. They're like, oh, Lacey, don't be bullshit. They start shoving each other, beating each other up, and done. You know what I mean? It's like, okay.
Yep, and Lacey against Naomi, and then like you said, Dana Brooke and Tamina start attacking Lacey, so nobody won. What's the point of this? There was no point at all.
Exactly.
Right there. AJ Styles, Jean Paul. AJ Styles is talking about the match that he had last week beating Drew Gulak, and he's like, it's amazing that like he's like Daniel Bryan's coach, and he's like, hey, I beat him, so he's legit. But like I like how Sarah Shriver, she was actually talking to AJ. That was cool.
She definitely had the most personality. So WWE, we make jokes. They clearly must be watching Rope Break. We say, let these announcers have some personality. They give her personality. Even like when she was interviewing Shinsuke and Nakamura and the New Day, she was like dancing with the New Day a little bit. It's like, okay, there's some personality there.
And also like when the karaoke segment was over, they were like saying, and she goes like, yeah, it seems like these girls get really into about their karaoke stuff. So like that was a little bit of a comment, and I like that. And then when AJ came to Sarah, like he went like too sweet and all of that, so it was cool. But like she announces something that Jean Paul popped. I know that. Next week is going to be Matt Riddle against AJ Styles for the IC belt. So like I don't know where like the connotations, I don't know the implications of this yet, Jean Paul, because I think to me it's going to be just a DQ. AJ's going to retain, but as a DQ, because I know that the plan is to have this match for real at SummerSlam.
Yeah, you had the upset. He beat AJ. AJ's one of those guys who he can lose and it won't hurt him. You know what I mean? Like, he's so popular. If he loses, it's like, okay, whatever.
Yes.
But he already lost to Matt Riddle. He's not going to lose to Matt Riddle again. So I feel like he's going to beat Matt Riddle. Then there'll be 1-1. I think he's going to win clean. And then you can make a case. Maybe Matt Riddle beats one or two other guys. He gets something else. Boom. Let's have the rubber match. We're each 1-1. Now we can decide, who's the most legit. Let's do it at SummerSlam.
Maybe.
That's how I would book it. I mean, if that's the program and that's what they're leading to, I'll do it because it's too early for AJ to drop the title. He just went through that tournament. You want to make the IC belt feel legit again, have it be on AJ for a while.
Oh, I think that like maybe Baron Corbin can get involved, and that will cause the DQ. And what will happen? They will add a match, maybe as a pre-show. They will add Matt Riddle against Baron Corbin.
Oh, and Extreme Rules, I could see that. Yeah.
And then and then he wants to, of course, Riddle gets rid of Corbin. Then he will be ready to like be in like a big program with AJ Styles. SummerSlam, you got to put at least the best card possible or the best possible card, and that will be Matt Riddle against AJ for the IC belt. That's what I think it might happen. But like that's going to be next week, so we'll see what happens. What we were going to get this week is like Jean Paul was mentioning. We were excited because it was going to be a good match between Nakamura and Cesaro going against the New Day. But what we got, it was just trash. They didn't even have a match.
Yeah,
finishes on a DQ.
Yeah, I don't know. I was watching this thing and I'm like, okay, it's all right. Where it's like, where's the finish? You know, what's going on? And then they start beating each other down. Cesaro gets in the ring, and it's as soon as they hear the ding, 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 and they're like, oh, you know, this match got out of hand. I'm like, really?
And then I go 53. I'm like, what? You know, what's this 7 minutes about? And then pretty much Paul is like, Cesaro Nakamura put Big E in a table and then like they put like Kofi. They did a power bomb onto both of them.
I mean, I would love, like we said last week, maybe, you know, when they brought the table out, maybe a tables match. I mean, you know, tables can break very easily in WWE, so I really never liked that stipulation. But, I mean, obviously, you know, you work together, you can prevent the table from breaking. So, I mean, maybe they can pull off a good match for it. We'll see if that's what they do. I wouldn't hate it, especially if Nakamura and Cesaro
win. They deserve it. Yeah, like for example.
And I even like the promo Cesaro had, you know, when he was like, he's like, listen. You know, beforehand when they were interviewed by Sarah Schreiber, he's like, "Why are we an underdog? Like, why would we be the upset if we win? Like, do you know who we are?" And he actually had a good promo. People say, "Oh, Cesaro can't cut a promo." That was a pretty good promo.
It was, and you know,
so I don't know. Like,
accolade in tag 5-6 times champ with Sheamus, both brands, Raw and SmackDown.
Yep. The bar was legit.
He said all the accolades.
The bar was probably that was probably the last time they had a legit tag division is when the bar was there.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and even Kofi was saying, hey, Cesaro was a United States champion, Nakamura, IC champion, United States champion, Royal Rumble winner, you know, 10,000, you know, World Heavyweight Championship matches. He never won. Thank you to Jinder Mahal. Thank you, AJ Styles, for that. But in the end, you know, good stuff. So, like, why would they be considered underdogs? They're both legit.
Yeah, so that was a legit promo. So I'm like, give this guy a push, please. And then we saw this, and it's like the DQ, and I'm like, at first I hated it. But I'm like, they're not going to win on free TV. So hopefully they do the tables match. You know, boom, put Big E or Kofi Kingston through the table, give us new tag champs.
Hopefully, because you know what happened, though. You know that, like, the Forgotten Sons are completely forgotten. Thank you for that tweet. That Ryder or Riker, like, he put about Trump, so that completely pushed done. So if you ever want to lose your push in WWE, say something bad about Donald Trump. So, like, you know, they don't have tag teams. And, of course, like you and me have been saying for weeks, hey, they hate the Lucha House Party. They will never be able to go up in, like, a pay-per-view for a match. And they had to get rid of Otis and Taki. They're no longer seen. So they have no tag teams.
Yeah, I mean, the Lucha House Party, if Nakamura and Cesaro win, I could see the Lucha House Party beating them. Because they don't see Nakamura and Cesaro as a legit team. So they're like, oh, we can drive them out to the Lucha House Party. That's fine. They probably just didn't want, you know, the New Day to lose to the house party. Because also that's face versus face. That's not as interesting as a matchup.
Like, if there's a chance, like you said, for them to drop the belts is right now. And do something with, like, two great wrestlers that you have in your roster. And that's Cesaro and Nakamura.
Yep.
Show goes off the air.
And also, I would love to see, and then, you know, if these guys do have their run, I know it's tough to say, but, like, I'd love to see these guys in a singles role because you could, you know, we saw Gulak kind of mess it up with them. Okay, yeah, legit. But I'd love to see Cesaro versus Nakamura and Shinsuke versus, or not Nakamura, Cesaro versus Matt Riddle. Shinsuke versus Matt Riddle. That would be legit matches.
No, yeah. Like, for example, if they're tag champs, they can also have singles matches.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Why wouldn't they be able to do that? You know, they've done that so many times through the years. So why not? I would love that. You know, I would love that. But, you know, this pretty much wraps the show up. 2 hours of absolutely insignificant, meaningless, you know, pretty much TV. You know, we got to say, when it's good, you guys know that, like, we will say it was good. But when it's bad, we also have the duty. We have the responsibility to acknowledge that it was terrible. And this was 2 hours of insignificant trash.
Yeah, the first segment was like, oh, okay, like, you know, this isn't the worst thing. And then after that, downhill.
After that, you know, went completely down. It went like Cody when Jay Hager.
Yep.
Toilet stuff. So, you know, family, thank you so very much for watching the video. Thank you for the comments, subscriptions. Where they can find us on the social media world, Mr. Leck.
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, The Original Rope Break, Twitter, The OG Rope Break, and right here on YouTube for the meat and potatoes for the best reviews in the YouTube wrestling community right here, The Original Rope Break.
That's right. And, you know, tomorrow or in Sunday, we're going to just bring you, like, something special because, you know, we are, like, kind of, like, hyping up Slammiversary. You know, like, Impact is a kind of, like, hot. Like, there's a lot of good things. They promise a pretty new World Heavyweight Champion. You know, Tessa got Fyre. So, like, there's, like, that mystery man right there announced. Who's going to be, is a former World Heavyweight Champion. So Jean Paul I'm already going to ask, and he's going to answer, tomorrow when we do a great video that we have planned for us. But like, it might be Sting, it might be Bully Ray, it might be Eric Young, it might be all of these guys. It might be
there's EC3. Who knows?
EC3. Like there's all these guys that like it might be. Well, not Rusev, but Rusev might be debuting. You never know. So like, hey, he's later. He might be joining a Rhino. You never know.
Exactly. There's lots of
Good
surprises.
Brothers. My show Wobble, it's Namaversary, is going to be a pretty interesting show to look. So we're gonna keep hyping it up because of course Road Break is not only WWE or AEW. There's more that we do. And, every time that there's something that is good, to talk about, we will always mention it. So, Jean Paul, you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...